Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new quarantine-inspired show called Hangin with Herb. This is the time where I hang out and have candid conversations with some of my valued friends. Today, I welcome a good friend who starred in several TV series and movies, including ABC's Grand Hotel and the 2018 comedy film Night School. She won her Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in 2018. My friend and former student, Miss Annie Winters. How are you, Annie?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I hope I got all that right.
Yeah, that was a really great introduction.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, well, let's talk a little bit about us, how we know each other. Number one, we go back to American Heritage Academy, which is AHA, we call it, where you attended. I think you began in the elementary there, and you were a cheerleader there. Talk a little bit about your time at American Heritage.
I mean, that was like the first school I really remember. I did start in elementary. It was a small school, but I think that was really important for me. Like, I really just, everyone was a friend in that school, all grades, whether you're in middle school or high school, like everyone knew each other. The teachers were a family. Everybody was just a big family. So that was really cool. I love that part. And I love wearing uniforms. I'll just never forget growing up wearing uniforms. I mean, I wore uniforms even at the school after American Heritage as well, but I loved uniforms. And the cheerleading squad, that was my first time when I started cheerleading, and then I went on to do competitive cheerleading after I left American Heritage, so that kind of set me up for that. And yeah, I thought it was a great school, and I made a lot of like long-lasting friendships.
You know, your elementary teacher, I saw one. Oh, well, today actually, your mom posted a picture of you receiving your Emmy 2 years ago yesterday.
That's
And
crazy.
she posted that, and I saw your teacher go on there, Mrs. Atkinson. Remember Miss Atkinson?
I remember Miss Atkinson.
Yeah,
Of course.
and she made a comment on there about you. She's so proud of you and what you're doing now and everything.
So sweet.
When you,
Yeah.
so what do you remember when you found out that American Heritage was closing?
I remember I had started a year before, I think, at Prestonwood
Okay,
Christian.
so you
And
were
then my
already at
sister,
Preston.
yeah, I was already there, but my sister was still at American Heritage.
Yes.
And so that's why I was still like involved and would go to the games and stuff. And I mean, I don't remember the exact moment, but I remember hearing about that and being pretty bummed.
Yeah,
But
that was a sad time for AHA because it was such a big family. Everybody knew everybody. The teachers, the coaches, the headmasters, principals. Everybody was just really like family. And
yeah,
I remember in 2009 is when it closed. My youngest daughter was in the graduating class, Sade. She graduated that year. And
yeah,
when I left there, I immediately went to Faith Christian School in Grapevine, and I remember playing Prestonwood when you were there and you were cheering and everything. It was always a lot of fun. Still seeing a lot of the HA kids that had left and just scattered, went to Legacy,
yeah.
Grapevine, Faith, Prestonwood. Yeah. So talk about your time at Prestonwood.
Prestonwood was a bigger private school. And I also went there mainly because I love cheerleading so much, and they had a more competitive cheerleading team. That's kind of why I went there to begin with. And I did competitive cheerleading on that team pretty much the whole time I was there. And then but at the same time, I remember going to like chapel service and being like, this isn't the same as American Heritage. It's just not the same. Like, people like really praised and worshiped at an American Heritage, and it was like a fun chapel service every single time. I remember that. And it wasn't like, no offense to Prestonwood, but it wasn't like that at all. But it was still fun. And I mean, I'm an actor now, so none of the schoolwork that I did really helped me a ton. But
Oh, let me ask you. Oh, let
sure.
me ask you about that. So, when you were at Prestonwood, were you an actor then? Were you in any of the dramas and performing and that kind of thing?
No, I did a lot of drama at American Heritage, and then the theater program at Prestonwood was a little bit bigger, and it was kind of scary and more like, I don't know. It was already set up, and I kind of joined a little late, like late middle school. So I didn't really do theater at all. I started doing acting in film and TV at around 15. So like my end of freshman year, and then sophomore year, I did a lot, and then took junior year completely off. And then senior year is when I like really went at it and came out here to LA a lot.
Okay.
So
Was
yeah.
that scary to, because I read in your bio that you were initially thinking about going to SMU,
Hmm.
and then you decided to go to Hollywood or LA and begin acting. Was that a scary decision?
I mean, yeah, I'm really, really glad that I took my sophomore year and came out here a lot and skipped a lot of school, because that was kind of my big experience out here. But I mean, I I didn't want to be judged too much, because like, a lot of people judge anyone that like skips college, especially in Texas, and when everyone kind of does what everyone does. And that's why
Absolutely.
SMU was still a big priority. But when I really thought about it, and all my friends going to different cities and going to different colleges and studying different things, I really was like, I already have kind of a career that I've set up a little bit. I might as well try to see where this goes first. And then SMU was actually the ones that pushed me to do it, because I was going to audition for the theater program. And when I went in with my resume, I had already kind of worked a little bit and done a couple movies and stuff. And they said, you should actually go to LA and see what happens and then defer here. So I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy.
Didn't think about that. That
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. School generally and just society pushes everyone toward college. Everyone, and college is not for everyone. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a definitely a good choice to make, but there are other choices that you can make. Yeah,
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, I mean, overall, it was a little bit scary. It took a while to make friends. It's not like college where you have an automatic,
right.
group of friends. Like, you kind of have to put yourself out there and find people that you would want to be friends with, especially out here. I mean, it was hard finding like good Christian friends and like people that kind of shared the same values and morals, and also that wanted to work and just everything. So yeah.
And all that goes with the business, doesn't it?
Yeah.
tell me, tell us a little bit about you from your where were you born, your birth city, and that kind of thing, and your current ventures, what you're doing now. Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, I was born in Carrollton, Texas, was born and raised in Texas, went to school there, and then moved out to LA when I was 17, or maybe six, no, yeah, 17. And then I started working pretty much right away. That's why I am really glad that I deferred, because I signed up for a community college out in Valencia, which is where I first moved to with family friends, because my
Okay.
parents wouldn't have let me move by myself out here. They wanted me to move with like a family and kind of be supervised for a little bit. Um, and I went there for about a month or less, and I booked a movie that was filming in Indiana, and I asked how they worked with kids that act and go different places, and they said they don't. So I said, all right, bye. And then I quit college within like the month, and then I went to Indiana, filmed my first film, and then from then on I just started booking just shows and movies and whatever, and it's just kind of progressively gotten a little bit bigger. Right now I'm working on the Orville. Production is shut down, but right now that's what I'm working on.
Okay.
And that's with Seth MacFarlane, who's like a
Yes.
Superman in Hollywood. So
You've worked with some Supermen, and you've worked with some good actors. Talk a little bit before we get into that about your family. Talk about your mom, your dad, your sister, that kind of thing.
My mom and my dad, I mean, just in general, they're like my biggest support system. I FaceTime them and talk to them every single day. I'm still very close to them. And my sister's 3 years younger than me. She did go to college. She had so much fun, and I kind of lived vicariously through her and her sorority for a couple years. And then she's still in Texas, and everybody's still in Texas actually. So
Okay.
it's nice to go back home and visit whenever I can. But I'd say that I'm still very close to them, and they're still doing, they're still just doing them in Texas.
So I see your mom and dad, except for this year, I see them every year they come to the AHA reunion that we have on Good Friday. We had kind of organized the time for us to just have a big reunion breakfast on Good Friday. And they would always come, always be there. And it's just always a good time. You remember Coach Geezy?
Yes.
And and all of them would be there. It's just we missed it this year because of the COVID deal, but yeah,
that's awesome. I think that their best friends that they still have to this day are from AHA.
Yeah.
And from Covenant. So that's really cool. I'm glad that you guys still all get together.
We do, and it's always really good. I've got I've got some of your pictures that I want to show, and then you just kind of talk us through some of them.
Okay.
All right. Let's see that we get them up. You see
Oh
them?
my gosh.
What grade were you in, do you think, on the first picture on the left?
I have I would say like second grade.
Okay, and that's AHA uniform, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
or actually, you know what? That might have been CCA, Carrollton Christian Academy.
Oh, okay. You went to CCA. Okay.
I did right before, and then I moved in third grade. That might have been the year before I moved. Because PCA, I think I was wearing like a button down and like a plaid skirt. I don't think I ever wore a jumper at PC or at AHA.
Okay. Okay. Good. And the pictures in the middle there, can you remember any of those?
Yes, those are definitely at AHA.
Yeah, Dan, I know.
And that's when we had Country Western Day in maybe that's fourth grade or fifth grade, possibly.
Right.
And the bottom one is another. Oh, that was make your own hat with like it was 100th day or something at school, so everyone had to do 100 stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see 100 on one of the hats. That's right, the 100th day. And you were with the Cougars on as a cheerleader. What Cougars were that? Was that a competitive?
Cougar Cheer was a competitive cheerleading team that I started, I think, when I was at PCA. I not only did school cheer, I did 2 teams outside of cheer as well, like along with PCA. And yeah, that was really fun. That was my first competitive cheerleading team.
So, do you think your cheerleading competitiveness and also just regular cheer, do you think that has helped or in your acting, giving you confidence and that kind of a thing, being in front of people?
100%.
Okay.
100%. I would say that any like sport. I mean, this was definitely my sport, but this was also like in front of a crowd of people, and it did make me learn how to perform and get nervous and then really show through and teamwork and everything. I mean, yeah, that was definitely a high stress sport that I would probably never do again. But it was fun, and I think it definitely did prepare me for everything that I've done.
So do you think you'll allow your kid to cheer?
100%. Yeah.
Good.
I think that would be fun.
Well, do you remember these?
Yes, I remember my dad always making those cards with all of us. And then that's you and my mom and my dad. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's us at one of the reunions. I'm not sure. That's maybe 2 years ago, whatever. But you had one of those. Do you remember that I used to wear those overalls for homecoming?
I didn't until now.
Oh, so I
That's
thought
so
I thought that,
funny.
I thought that would. So I began making those early on, and I only wore them the week of homecoming. The week of homecoming, I would always wear them. And when they closed the school, they asked me for those to put in a thing to like
Like
a
a shadow box.
yes. And I never got those back. But yeah. And what about up
Wow.
top to the right? Do you remember him?
I do. I
Mr.
forget his name, but I do
BJ,
remember
Mr.
that bus.
BJ.
Yeah.
Yep, he's still at Covenant Church and still there. And the bottom right, you know Coach Mack, right?
Mhm.
Yep,
That's so crazy.
that's at Prestonwood. But yeah, we all were together at HAC. I remember BJ and myself were both the bus drivers. So I would drive one, he would drive the other. And field trips and games and all that. It was a great
Yeah, I
time,
remember that.
great time. Now, this is your family.
Yes. That's me, my family, my sister at graduation last year at TCU or
Oh,
this
she
past
graduated from
year.
TCU, okay.
Mhm. And
And
then those are the photo shoots that I've done.
you take a lot of pictures, don't you?
Yes, I get to take a lot of pictures. And then that's my family in Florida. We went to the Grand Hotel premiere. That was really fun.
Okay.
I'm happy that they always get to come to like, you know,
Yeah.
big moments for me. That's really cool.
Well, it's big for you, and it's probably even bigger for them. To see.
Yeah.
I love going to when whatever my kids are doing and performing or whatever. I just love. You're just so proud to see your kids
Mhm.
doing something with their life, positive.
Mhm.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
very proud. And
Oh yeah.
here's night school. How was
Yeah,
that?
that's me and Kevin Hart. I love that photo.
How was that
He's
experience?
he's just so short. It's so funny because I look so tall in that photo, but I'm really not. Um, that was a really great experience. I mean, that was my first time working on like a big Universal movie set, which is just, a bigger production in all forms. Like it's bigger budget and longer days, longer production. And that was really, really cool and fun. And Tiffany and Kevin were like just hilarious together. I'll never forget that.
I
Um,
love Tiffany. She is so funny, just
my
natural.
favorite.
Wow.
I know. And her story is amazing. I don't know if you know how she got started, but Kevin kind of helped her out at the beginning. She was living in her car, and Kevin noticed and got her started and gave her an apartment and just kind of told her like get on your feet and have a real shot. And then she just blew up.
She did. She did
Hmm.
blow up. She's on so many shows and movies, and she's really, really a good actress and comedian.
Hmm.
Now, the bride he bought online was amazing. I was watching it because, believe it or not, I'm a lifetime movie fan. My wife is a Hallmark. I'm a Lifetime, and they're both just totally opposite. But
Yeah.
that was a good movie. When I knew you were going to be on it, and I watched it. Very scary. That guy was very, very scary.
Yeah, I mean, he's more like creepy than scary, I'd say. But
Right.
yeah, he's very, very weird. That was my first ever offer I ever got, and I had no idea that it was gonna be on Lifetime. And when I found that out, I was like, "Whoa, that's so crazy and cool."
Yes. Everybody
So
can.
that was cool.
That was a good one. That was a real good one. Do you keep in touch with the girls that were on there?
The blonde in the picture,
Uh huh.
I've ran into her a ton of times just through mutual friends, and we were actually in Atlanta filming something, not the same project, but we were both filming in Atlanta at the same time, so we met up there a couple times, but I haven't seen the other one in the picture that much.
Oh,
But we all still, I mean, everyone sees each other on social media, I guess.
yes, yes, yes. And this was a big one that we got caught up in this one watching it, and
Yeah,
really enjoyed it. How was it working on this cast?
this was such a fun show. This was kind of my first older role. I mean, when I first got told I was playing a maid in a hotel, I was like, what? How is this gonna work? But I loved my character and this whole cast and this whole show, working with Eva Longoria. I mean, this was just so much fun. One of my favorite projects I've ever worked on. I'm sad that it didn't go to a season 2, but
I
it was
know
still such a fun show.
it was really good. It really surprised me that it didn't. I thought it was getting great ratings, and
I know.
yeah, it really surprised me. Great cast, people
Hmm.
from all types of parts of the acting community, which
Yeah.
is really really good. And then it was this.
Yeah. That's crazy that it was 2 years ago, like a couple days ago.
That felt like it was a couple of days ago.
It
Yeah.
felt like, yeah, honestly.
So it looked, from the look of that picture, the first picture, you had no idea you were going to win.
Yeah, no, I did. I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea, but I was so nervous. That was such a I mean, yeah, I'll never forget that day. That was so crazy.
Where do you keep it?
I keep it in my living room on the top of like a massive bookshelf kind of thing. So it's
Okay.
definitely in view every single day.
Uh,
That's
so
amazing.
how many do you want? What's your next goal? You want another one? You want a different one? What's your goal?
I mean, anything would be great. I mean, at the end of the day, I'd love to win like a Golden Globe or an Oscar. I mean, I really want an Oscar. But an Emmy is amazing, and I'd love
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. Endless. I mean, it's really not about the Emmy itself. It's about the fact that my work has gotten noticed, and if my work is getting noticed that many times, then that just means like that just is
More
so fulfilling.
opportunities, and more
So
opportunities can come from that as well.
yeah, exactly.
Well, let's give a couple of quick rapid fire questions.
Okay.
All right. What are your plans for singing?
Well, my boyfriend is a musician, and we have like a studio in one of our in our room. So, I mean, I don't have a massive plan for singing, but anytime he tells me that he wants me to jump on a verse or sing a song with him, I'm totally down. And also, um, if any production knows that I sing, they kind of write it in sometimes. Like on the Orville, I'm gonna be singing on an episode.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be fun. But I'm not pursuing music like intentionally. But when it comes up, I'm totally down because I love to sing.
What type of music does he sing or play?
He does like R&B pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where were you, and what was your response upon hearing about Kobe?
I was waking up after New Year's. I think it was no, I was in Tulum. I was on vacation. And I remember reading the news about it, and that was really, really crazy. And it just so happens that our cast of the Orville had already, before that happened, gotten tickets together to a Lakers game.
Wow.
And so we actually were at that first Lakers game back when they had all of those special performances and like basically a huge production for him. And I was bawling my eyes out. It was
Terrible.
so sad.
So sad. Had you ever met
Yeah.
him? Had you ever met him?
No, I never met him. I mean, I have, friends of friends that like know him and what I hang out with him and stuff, but like,
Right.
no, I've never met him personally.
Well,
No.
final question. What would be your Mount Rushmore, which would be the top 4 actors or actresses that you look up to in Hollywood?
Okay. Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
I'd say Reese Witherspoon.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Tiffany Haddish too.
Okay. All right. Now I noticed you said all actresses.
Yeah, I was thinking about dudes. I mean,
Well,
I like a lot of guy actors, but I guess I don't look up to them in the
in the
same
same way.
way, just because they're not something that I can like super relate to all
Right.
the time. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. Awesome. Well, Annie, I really appreciate you. I want to thank you for joining me today and for hanging with her today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're
This was
welcome.
fun.
Well, in closing, I always like to honor my parents, which is Lee and Cree, and I encourage us all to unite and give someone your smile. And with that, I'll say Zikomo, which is thank you in Zambian. You have a great day.
Thank you so much. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hanging with her.